Hello? 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 Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Hello?
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
This will be a rough night.
Yeah, I see that.
Figure all this out. We may have a few people that come in house as well. So what'll happen is I've got the same video. It's up on a screen here in the building so they can see everything that we're talking about.
Okay.
Uh, I've got a document camera I've ordered as well so that we can put the textbook under there and y'all can see it. And
Okay.
we'll do the best that we can.
Okay.
In person is certainly easier for everybody.
I see.
I think for a lot of folks, they like the idea of doing in person. And I've got a training room that I use that will accommodate about 20 people. So it'll be convenient. So we start at 6:30.
Okay.
I'm glad you got in because last week I was waiting and nobody got in here. But now that I know you got in, it means I gave out the right link.
Yeah. Yeah, I use the passcode TQ8881 because the other one doesn't work.
Okay, well that's good. I struggle trying to create this thing.
Yeah, me too. I never been on that.
this is new for all of us trying to do
Yes.
online experience. Uh, and my other guy that was supposed to be helping me,
Uh-huh.
well, I haven't been able to get a hold of the other teacher.
Oh,
I'm gonna struggle. But this program's nice enough that you could go in and schedule it and record it, and then turn around and you guys can watch the recording if for some reason I had something come up.
okay.
So tonight will be an interesting experience. But you got a few minutes before we'll start. Hopefully we'll have 23 other people start.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So I'll be right back.
Okay, thank you. Ahí está. ¿Cómo se hace esto? No sé ni cómo se hace esto, Giselle. Giselle, préstame tus audífonos para ver si los puedo conectar y así ustedes no tengan que oír todo lo que me dicen. Va a empezar hasta las 6:30, so I got some time.
¿No puedo ir a la casa de Blair mañana?
¿Ah?
Voy a ir a la casa de Blair mañana. Sí, maybe. ¿Tu mochila? Sí, se está grabando.
No se está grabando. Ay, no. Dice que sí van a tener clases en persona, o iremos por en persona. Dice, ¿dónde tienes tus audífonos? No puede ser. ¿Los sacaste de tu lunch, no? ¿Dónde?
That's on my backpack.
Yo no sabía que también podían ir en persona. Where's your backpack? Ahí va. Es horrible esto del internet. Y espero que no se me caiga la señal, si no, es triste. Voy a ver cómo se podrán conectar. Ay, tengo frío. Ay, ay. Trackpad, display, Bluetooth. Ok. ¿Cuál es esto?
Put them in your ears.
Se han de haber conectado a tu teléfono, Giselle. A ver, quita el Bluetooth de tu teléfono.
Sí, se me conectaron el teléfono.
Desconéctalos. Quita el Bluetooth. No. Ay, esto es terrible. Mejor voy a ir en persona porque esto de la computadora no.
Yeah.
No se conecta. ¿Cómo le haré? Sí, amor. No, tú lo trajiste, ahí lo dejé. Gisela, ayúdame a conectarlos, ma, por favor. ¿Cómo los podré conectar? A ver, me voy a salir. Y luego vamos a empezar de nuevo. Bluetooth. No se conectan. Sí los desconectaste de tu celular, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Ay, no, qué feo se ve uno en esta cosa. No quiere. Tengo 17 minutos para conectarlo. ¿Por qué no los agarrará? Mm. ¿Dónde están los de tu pa? A ver si los de tu pa quieren. ¿Por qué no querrán, Giselle? Giselle, ¿por qué no querrán?
No, no.
Ayúdame a conectarlos, come on. No sé por qué no. Creo que no me soy yo. Oops. I can hear. Ay, ¿dónde está mi cosa?
So I'm waiting on Angie. Angelica, I think she's going to be coming here in just a little bit. And my understanding is we're going to start at the beginning of the level 3 book. I don't know. Were you in the level 3 class last year? Okay. I got to go in here and unmute you. Or maybe you've muted yourself.
Hey, I see.
That will be good because I know Angie will probably do well to refresh herself with that. We did not just move through the program, or should I say the booklet, just real quickly because I'd rather you guys understand what we're talking about than to fly through it and not understand what we're talking about.
Okay.
I have a co-host, Jesse Castillo. He's more of just the technology guru, so he won't probably be here most of the time. He can do everything he needs from his house.
Okay.
You know, whereas I'm still sitting at the office working like a mule.
Okay.
So hopefully Angie will be here in just a second and then we will get started, okay?
Okay, yeah, that's
I
fine.
haven't gotten any text messages from anybody saying that good, bad, or indifferent. Jesse, are you on this group text?
On the WhatsApp thing? No, I don't have WhatsApp.
No. You need to be on WhatsApp.
You get it again. I haven't used it since Lowe's.
I still have you on here, so it's still on my phone for WhatsApp.
My name?
Mm-hmm. Let me go see if I'm gonna walk the perimeter and see if Angie is aimlessly walking around the parking lot trying to figure out which one of these buildings to go in. There's only 5 of them sitting here.
Okay.
Tomorrow I have to bring the sleeping bag and a seat first. Alright, pillow and blanket.
All right, my friend, we have one or two text messages. I assume they go to you. And you said they need to try T Q A A A 1. Enrique. So Enrique may get on here in just a second. We shall see.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
because I think I have it set up to go to a waiting room every time y'all try to admit. So you have your textbook, I assume?
I'm sorry?
You have this textbook right here?
Yes.
We're going to start this evening. Um, Generally, we always start with some reading from the scripture. And so I was looking to see if there was a little. So we're supposed to always start with some type of scriptural reading. And so I'm going to do that this evening. And I've got one here called the Beatitudes. So I will read that before we start class, and we'll see if Enrique makes it to class. Angie says she's going to be here. Uh, but it says here the Beatitudes, Matthew chapter 5. Wherever Jesus went, he was surrounded by a large throng of people. People who were curious, old, young, sick, well, happy, sad, and worried. No matter their situation in life, they wanted to be near Jesus to hear if he had any solutions to their problems. On such a day near the Sea of Galilee, Jesus saw all the people, and his heart was filled with love for them. They were like a little flock of sheep that did not have a shepherd to take care of them. So Jesus sat them all down, and he began to talk with them. The people sat quietly on the grassy mountainside and listened. From where they sat, they could see the blue glittering waters below them and the little fishing boats coming in from the night's catch. The spring air was fresh and clear. See those birds over there? Jesus asked. Everyone looked and saw little sparrows eating seeds on the stony path. Where do they get their food? Jesus asked them. They don't need to worry about their food. They don't have to worry about where their food comes from because God knows what they need and feeds them. Again, Jesus asked them another question. What about these wildflowers you see growing on the hillside? Where do they get their lovely clothes? Another way you would say that, where do they get their lovely beauty? They don't need to worry about that because God has clothed them in robes of splendor. Not even a king is dressed that well. The people had never met a king, but as they gazed out over the area, glittering and sparkling below them, they could see the hillsides dressed in colors of red, purple, and gold. They felt their burdens lift from their hearts. They could not imagine anything more beautiful. Little flock, Jesus said to the people, don't you know, don't you know are more important than these birds and flowers. The birds and the flowers don't sit and worry about things, and likewise, God doesn't want his children to worry, because just as he loves the look or loves to look after the birds and the flowers, he loves to look after you. Jesus knew that God would always love and watch over the world that he had made. The birds, flowers, trees, animals, everything. Most of all, he wanted to most of all, he would watch over his children. Even though people had forgotten the birds and the flowers, they still knew their song. It was the song of God's creation, and it had sung to him from the very beginning of time. It was the song the people's hearts were made to sing. God made us, and he loves us. He is very pleased with us. Jesus wanted the people to know beyond everything else. As an example of how creation cries out his praises, one day the Pharisees were talking to Jesus about how his disciples who were crying out about his holiness, and the Pharisees told Jesus to rebuke his disciples for saying such blasphemous things. Jesus replied to them, I tell you, if they keep quiet, the stones will cry out. It was why Jesus had come into the world to sing them that wonderful song that they had forgotten. Jesus would sing it with his whole life so that God's children could remember it and join in and sing too. Just like all of nature, Jesus was trying to tell them that his coming into the world was the fulfillment of the law. His coming to the earth was not to replace the Old Testament law, but rather to point to the ultimate fulfillment of the spiritual intention of the law. Jesus continued to explain the true meaning and purpose of the Old Testament law. The law was designed to confine. Come on in, Angie.
I park in my car.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good. The law was designed to confine people to their own useless efforts, but rather to show us our complete dependence on God. Jesus expects his followers to give their fullest and best efforts to obey his commandments, but he knows we will all fall short. He gives us his spirit to help us whenever we ask anything of him. So that's just a spiritual thought. It's the Beatitudes found in Matthew. It's always one of those where we talk about blessed are the poor, blessed are they that mourn, blessed are the meek, those type individuals. So either way, we may read a little bit from that next week, and I'll try to scan some of these up so you can actually see the words. I'm still
Okay.
learning how to do this,
Okay.
and I am feverishly, and you will find, Edith, that I like to use different words. Words are a very powerful gift from above. They have the capacity to inflict great harm, but they also have the capacity to inflict a great joy in a person's life if we use
Yeah.
them. And you will find that in the English language, we have 100 different ways to say just about anything. You think about you guys' language. I want to say that you guys have probably 300,000 or 400,000 words to choose from
Yeah.
vocabulary, and we have, the last time I checked, about 1.5 million in the
Wow.
language. So that makes it pretty complicated, and I feel sorry for you guys at times because English is not as easy as it seems. Lord Enrique, how do we do this? Enrique is not getting this right here, my friend. So let's see here. So let's go here. Click on this link. It'd help if I pasted the link, wouldn't it, Edith?
Yeah.
Um, once you click on that link, it just asks you for your name, does it not?
Yes.
It will ask for a passcode, and
Oh yeah.
passcode, and we said that the passcode is, Angie just walked in, so I know she's just so excited. Give me just a second here. What did we say the passcode was?
It was TQ.
Q, A,
A.
A, lowercase a,
Yeah.
what?
L. Oh, no, one.
One.
Yeah, one. Yeah.
Okay. Passcode is this. Must be entered exactly. It's working. It's working. Enrique, Lord Jesus, take the wheel, Jesus. Enter passcode in his name. I don't understand.
Hmm.
Gonna be the headache for the first night or two until we figure out. So hold on, I got a. I wonder if he can call us. I would ask Angie if it worked for her, but she would say, "Well, Josh, I didn't do that. I'd rather be in class. It's a whole lot easier."
Maybe he's not putting the capital A. Maybe he's just putting A.
Are you seeing the messages too?
Yes.
Let's see. I'm going to call you. I don't speak Spanish, so let's see how this works out. Thankfully, I got a phone sitting right next to me. 615-715-1891.
Hello, this is Gilbert.
Gilbert, this is Joshua. So I know you're having some struggles there. When you go to click on the original Zoom link, it'll ask for that code, and it'll have to be entered exactly as I typed it out there. So it'll be a lowercase t, q, a, and then a capital A, a lowercase a, and then a 1.
That's what exactly I have been doing.
And it's giving you trouble.
Yes, sir. I at the beginning of the first time I get it, but it was with the camera, and I say I don't want to set the camera, so I get off. Then when I try to get in again, it's not working anymore.
So log completely out and try to re-click on the link, like from your email or what's on the phone. Completely log all the way out and see if it will let you do it if you do it that way. Because I know I got on mine and I had to end everything to make it.
Does anybody else have an issue?
No, I've got Edith on here. She's grinning from one ear to the other, just as happy to be online. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I can go to Zoom. I get to Zoom directly as well, but it didn't work to the app.
because I've got it on my phone, and so that's how I'm doing it. And you may be doing it through a computer.
No, I'm doing my phone.
So if you click it on your phone, I just click on the link, and then as soon as I click on that link, it actually prompts me for that passcode. So I click on it,
Exactly.
and it says just once, open with Zoom, because that's what I want you to do, enter passcode. Let me see here, TQ, A, capital A, lowercase a, 1, okay.
Yeah,
And
that's
it is
what I did
now,
right now. Push continue, and it's incorrectly in passcode. Please try it again. I'm doing shit I'm doing.
so there I am, admit, so it's allowed me to admit myself, and now I can see everybody else.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know. Well, I actually had the meeting ID and everything, do it all the way.
Uy.
7, try to, but it doesn't work. I don't know.
Well,
It's okay. I mean, if I could, like, I mean, I know you have to do the class, so
well, we'll start the class. What I would say, if you're in Springfield, you're welcome to come. I don't know how far you are from Springfield, but you're welcome to come to the actual physical location because I think I'm the only person offering this actually in my where I work. And you could actually come in. You could actually come to the office and uh, see and do things in person as well. That's entirely up to you, but I don't want you to give up. It just may mean that you need to, if you have a chance to swing by one day, we'll get it set up because it's the same link every time.
sure. Well, I'm doing it. I know what I'm saying. I mean, I'm very far away from Springfield. I live in Great Hall. I mean, towards the Brainwood. So
Okay.
I'm very far.
Um, so I am not the technology guru. I can give you a number of somebody to call that's helping me with the class. Let me give you Jesse's number, and his number is 256 783 0170. And just see if you can get him on the phone and see if he can walk you through, and hopefully I'll see you pop up on here shortly, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it for your help.
But don't give up on the class because we need to have that conversation between now and the next class to see about how to get you in here, okay?
Sure. I'm going to call him now. What is his name?
Jesse Castillo. He's a Spanish speaker.
Okay, great. I'm
Okay.
going to call him now.
All
Thank
right.
you, sir.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Edith. So I'm trying to figure how to get, so do you see this screen here? It says welcome to English 3.
Yes.
I need to get this to where she can see this. Somehow or another I got Angie. Angie, there you go. Now you're up there. That's not it. So how in the world do I do this?
Hi.
There you are. Share. But I thought when we share something, but I need this screen. Angie, what do you think about all this technology?
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. You hear her enthusiasm over there?
Yeah.
Well, so you see this part here. So what we'll do is just start this evening. Angie, you got your book, right? And we're going to go to page, it'll be pre-unit, and it'll be page 2 in pre-unit, and it'll look like this picture here. Getting started.
Oh, yeah, I don't see it.
T2. And we're just going to do, tonight will be a little different, and we'll try to, as soon as I get that document camera, it will allow you to see. I can put this over and you can see the book.
Yeah.
So let's see here. I want to erase. All right. Just put on your page T2. That's where we're at. So we're going to start there. And it says here, getting started. From your first class, I just want you, let's see, this is, so I'm supposed to write a few things up here that you can see, but I don't know how to get it up on this other screen. And Jesse left me. Hi. Lord, y'all. It's gonna be rough. Y'all just gonna have to bear with me tonight. So the first thing it says to do is just to tell a little bit about each one of us here in the room. I have never met Edith. I do know Angie or Angelica. I call her Angie. But this will be my second year to work with this program. I've worked in the public schools now for starting my 19th year. Long time. I work with the yellow school bus, so you'll see me out driving school buses everywhere. If you ever get bored and want to do that, let me know. It pays really well. But you do have to work with children and actually like them. So Josh, you can call me Josh, Mr. Josh, teacher, 'cause that's what they called me last year just about every time I was in there. Teacher, teacher. So either way, I will respond to that. I do not have children. I've never been married. I have no children. I was born in Ohio many years ago. I'm almost a fossil. If you know what I mean. I'm trying to tell you I'm old. Of course, I live here in Springfield. I'm about 5 minutes from this office here. So my life revolves around working with children. It is my goal that when I leave this world, I hope that I've helped a child be successful and a child be able to make positive changes in the world that we all share together. That's my goal. So I would ask that I'll let you tell a little bit about yourself, and I know Angie can hear you, and I may turn the camera around on Angie here in a minute so you can see her. So I'll let you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, my name is Edith Solis. I'm married. I got a little girl. Well, not that little. She's 10 years old. And I live in Cedar Hill. Maybe like 6 years ago.
Okay.
I've been in America since 2001. And I'm from Mexico. I work almost every day, and we like to watch movies with my family, and we like to go to church, and we like to cook together. And
Okay.
I think that's it.
So you watch movies, you like to cook, you live in Cedar Hill.
Yes.
Moved here in 2001 from Mexico.
Yes.
One child, correct?
Yes, one.
One child who I believe I heard you say is 16. Is that correct?
No, 10.
Oh, woo, I was making her grow up fast. 10 years
Yeah.
old. Okay. Okay. And so you said you like movies. What kind of movies do you like?
Well, we watch different kind. Uh, we like Christian movies and some action movies.
Okay. In action.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. All right. Well, I'm going to let Angie, I know she doesn't want to be on the spot. Angie, if you want to sit over here tonight, I'm going to let you sit over this way, and then you can come and say hi. And yep, and you can sit in this chair. So you come on over here, Angie. You can be on the worldwide internet. Uh-oh. There are 25,000 people watching us tonight. Come on up. Let you introduce yourself. So Edith, here comes Angie. She's a little shy.
Okay, I am too, don't worry.
Yep, just sit right there and then it sees you in the screen.
Ay, ay, ay. Maybe somebody died because it's scared when looking to me.
Oh, no way.
Okay.
So this is Angie. and I'll let her tell a little bit about herself.
Okay.
You don't have anything you want to share?
I need to tell what my name,
Your name, a little bit
story.
about, just a little bit about you. She doesn't know you, so this is your opportunity to talk
Okay,
about Angie.
my name is Angelica Zelaya. I have two children. One girl, she has 17-year-old. My son has 9-year-old, and I work. That's it.
Okay. She's ready to be out of the spotlight, so I'll let her come sit by me and I'll talk to her.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep, you can sit here. You don't have to go all the way. You may just sit here if you want. Because we're going to be doing some reading and stuff tonight. And Edith, what was your last name?
Solis, Solis.
And what's your phone number?
615-380, 5359.
5359.
Yes. I think Enrique is send something.
Let's see what he said there. Oh, let's see here. I'll make this show all the details. iPhone, admit. Enrique. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Hey,
Finally.
Jesse, help you?
Yes. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
And give me your name, because I want to call you Enrique, but
Helbert, Helbert, but you can call me Enrique as well.
what's your last name?
Ardila, Ardila,
A-R-D.
ILA.
Okay, and what's your phone number? Because I don't see it on my piece of paper here.
615-715-1891.
Okie dokie. All right, so here we go. We're ready to start class. So I'm going to let you tell a little bit about, so we just heard from Edith, and she was telling us that she's got one child, and she likes to watch movies, Christian movies, some action-packed movies, depending on the day. She works way too much, and she told us that work is overrated. And either way, so she lives in Cedar Hill, and this is your first year to do this class, correct?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's fine.
Jesse's calling me too. Yes, Jesse.
I'm sorry, sir. There's two students trying to get into the class. You have to accept them.
I see this. One just added in. Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye. So JC is now on here. JC, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
All right, JC. And give JC, what does JC stand for? What's your given name, or is it just JC?
Jesus Christ.
Whatever. Jesse, shame on you.
Jesse Castillo.
Shame on you. Okay. All right. Let's see about our Jesse is our guru when it comes to technology stuff, not not me. Okay. And Enrique, the other individual that's here is Angie. Angie works here in Springfield. She's got 3 children. No, 4. You have 3. Samantha and the little boy, I thought you had a third. No, she just got 2. So her daughter rides my school bus. She always speaks to me. She's like the only child that speaks to me every day. So I feel privileged if one child in the world will speak. She's been attending classes for a couple of years now. We struggled through this last year. She's a lot of fun. And then I work. My name is Josh. You can call me teacher or whatever makes you happy. Just don't call me late for supper. But this is my second year to work with this program. I helped the previous year just substituting a little bit. And it was really uncomfortable. And then they called and said, "Do you want a class?" I got a little nervous, to say the least, but we somehow worked through this and whatnot. So I work in the school industry. I work with the public schools. I've worked in that business now, starting my 19th year, and I deal with the yellow school bus. So if there's ever a day you want to come up here and see where I work, you're welcome to come to the bus shop. They'll all have the address in that link. So I live here most of the time. So that's a little bit about me. So I'll let you tell me about you, and then we can start on page T2.
Who?
Enrique.
Oh, me? Oh, I'm sorry.
We want to hear from you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Where have you lived? How many children do you have?
Okay. I'm from Colombia, from Bogota, Colombia. I live in Griff Hall. I don't know if you know what is that.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's near to Brentwood, 3 miles away.
That's like highfalutin area.
It is. It's between Brentwood and downtown, I think. Yeah, from south. And I don't have any children and nothing. And I'm working. I get a new job right now, tracing COVID patients. And
you'd be really rather busy, I would think.
Yes, it's kind of busy, yes, sir. And I like it. I'm working from home, and my schedule is 9 to 6:30. So that's what I text you today and say that I'd be late Thursdays because I have to work till 6:30.
Well, normally I'm in bed at this time of night, so.
Oh, okay. So we'll be good, I guess.
We're good, yeah.
Hopefully next time I can join easier.
And we can start this the next time a little bit later if we need to do that. That would be fine too. I might actually, because I'll have to admit to you time, but I could start it a few minutes later if I know you are going to be behind. I used to start about 6:45, even though the class starts at 6:30. So I may log in at 6:30 and if y'all start.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll do a little scripture reading and then we'll move on to the lesson for the day. So today we're not going to spend just a whole lot of time tonight because I feel like we just need to acclimate to one another into the program. Everybody has the textbook already, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
I'm treating tonight like last Thursday because we were supposed to do a dry run last Thursday and nobody came in for the dry run except me. I'm down here walking around the parking lot like, where's everybody at? So let's see here. Everybody sees my screen, so I need to go in here and I'm going to write a few things. I hope y'all can see it. Give me a second here. Can everybody see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Let's see how we. Where's Jesse when I need him? No. Where are the meeting controls? Jesse. Are they over there for real? Lord help me. Now y'all can see this other stuff. Okay. So we can clear all drawings. So it says here to write some words up here on the board. And so that's what we're going to do. Say each of these words and numbers. We talked about that.
Mhm.
Today we want to learn about the book. And so on T2, and I don't have the picture right here in front of me. Let's go to T2, y'all's little workbook. So that's going to be this book right here. And we'll go to page 22. And that'll be towards the, I call it T2, but it'll be page 2 of your book. And you'll see that.
The future English results or results.
It'll say, yes, that's the book, and it'll say future for 3, and then on page 2, so we'll turn to page 2, it says learn about your book. Welcome to class. So it wants us to turn to the little page that's got the 3 eyes on it.
Yes.
So that page is going to be your content page. And it'll look like this. You'll see.
I can see it.
It'll be your very first page of your book, pretty much. It'll say contents at the top. So you'll be looking for a word that says contents.
Okay.
We have to find the contents. That's what'll be at the top of the page. And so as we look at that, it says here,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what page is that one? Because I don't see it. I saw the welcome class, but that's all.
So it'll be at the very front of your book. So if you flip like 2 or 3 pages, when you first open the book, it'll say your English for results 3, and then the very next page says contents at the top. Do you see that?
Okay, I got you.
So the idea here tonight, we're going to try to familiarize ourselves with this book that we're going to be intimate with in the next little bit. So the question would be, what information do you see on this page? So as we look at the table of contents, can anybody tell me what information do you see on that page?
On contents, we say
when you think of contents, what do you think that means?
What we're going to learn?
Yeah, what is the book about?
Yeah.
Very good. What is the book about?
What's the book about? Yeah.
What is located within the book?
Mm-hmm.
So those 2 things. So the content, I would think of the contents page. Another way we would say this is we'd call it the table of contents, which means to me, I think of that as a roadmap. And you know, roadmaps tell us where to go. They tell us how to get there. Sometimes it's not easy to interpret, but I think that the table of contents is relatively self-explanatory. So here, when we ask, it says here, what information is on this first page? Well, it says acknowledgments about the series, consultants and authors. So when we think about the series consultants, when you think of the word consultant, that's somebody that you would go to seek out information or consult. So the consult is to seek out information. with somebody. And so a consultant is the individual that will provide you that information. The author would be somebody that writes a book, writes a paper. You guys might have to write a paper or two while you're in here. And so the author will be the person who wrote this book. In this instance, I think it's going to be several individuals that have helped prepare the book. Scope and sequence, that's going to tell you about how vast are the array of information that we're going to cover. And there are a lot of subjects to be covered when you think about scope and then sequence. How are we going to learn it, and how much are we going to learn? To the teacher, there will be sections in there that will be designated for me to try to help you guys understand things. Angie already knows I like words, and I told Edith the same thing. So if you hear me, sometimes I may say, let us think or consider or contemplate. All three of those words mean the same exact thing. It just gives you guys a greater opportunity when you're out and about. If you hear somebody say that, you'll say, oh, well, I heard Mr. Josh say that the other day. And all three of those things mean to think. Because, the American language is vast, it's complicated, but we have a lot of ways of saying the same exact thing, which I believe makes our language beautiful in many aspects. So let's go back over here. It says, how many units are in this book? So can somebody tell me how many units are we going to discuss in the book? If you look at
12.
There are 12. There are 12 units. And if we count the pre-units, that would be 13. Okay?
Okay.
Which two units are about health?
What unit is what? What do you say?
Which two units are about health?
Okay. Well, 8
And
Health.
10.
So
and
8
10, yeah.
and 10.
Mhm.
Okay, very good. Let me go to my other question here. Which two units are about work?
4 and 9.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay, so if we then move on, it'll say here, let me read this real quick. So if we turn to page 2, but keep your hand on this current page where you're at, okay? Turn to page 2 in your textbook. And here it says sometimes you'll need to go to the back of the book to do various activities. Okay, so look at the chart, find the pages in the book, and complete the chart. So it tells you what page to go to. For instance, page 245, it says the activity would be grammar review. So page 245 would be grammar review. So Edith, if you turn to page 257, what will we be learning about? What's the subject? So in your textbook there, let's go to your page 257. What are we going to be discussing? Nothing like putting y'all on the spot.
Yeah. Persistence activities.
Persistent activities. Very good. Enrique, what about page 263? Might be covering there.
Team projects.
Team projects. So information for newcomers, making a brochure. That will be fun. Angie, if we go to page 276, what are we going to see? What's up in that corner?
Map on the what?
Map of the world. Okay. So very good. So we're still on page 2. And it says here in pairs, and we're doing this virtually, so we'll have to just do this together. It says there is additional information for you in the back of the book. Find each section, write the page number. So grammar reference. If we are looking for grammar references, we should be able to go to the table of contents, and find that information. But let's see how this, let me look at my book to see how they've broken this down, because it has been a while. We did this last year. Well, it says to go to 285. So we're supposed to just thumb through the back, but I think we can do some stuff here from our table of contents. So this one says grammar reference. So it says page 291. So on that very front page that I told you to hold your hand in, it says grammar reference. And out to the side, it says page 285. Do you see that?
Yes.
So this table of contents will allow you to navigate the book easily. So if you got some question about something that you want to learn, you would be able to go to the front, and there's grammar reference on page 285. It's got all this amazing information that we can review for Unit 1. So let's look at the next one, and I'm going to put you on the spot. Enrique, what about audio script? Where might we find information regarding audio script?
I don't know. Audio script?
Audio script. So remember on that very front page, because that's what I told you to mark this page in your book.
Well, hold on. Give me 1 second because hold on. I'm sorry.
You may be
What's
looking through, but this is your very front
Oh,
page.
yes.
We're at the front of the book now with the table of contents.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
And then I'm just asking you questions to see if you can tell me where this information is at. So
No, 294.
So
294.
That's very good. So what about, Edith, a word list? Where might we find a word list?
In 291.
Very good. And Angie, if I wanted a copy of the U.S. and Canadian map, where might I go?
275.
275. Very good. And what about our world map, Edith?
276.
Are you serious?
Yes.
All right. And Enrique, what about the index? If we wanted to know where the index was, where is it?
308.
308. I mean, that's like at the very back of the book. That's a long way back there. And the index has all sorts of.
You say 308 or 308?
308.
Okay.
So you would not say. Now, how did you say that again?
308. 308.
308.
308.
You don't have to say 308. Just 308, 309, 310.
Gotcha.
201, 275. So we wouldn't say 308, although you could, but it's not natural. It doesn't really flow off the tongue easily, if that makes sense. So let's look through pages 278 through 284. So let's turn to page 278 in our textbook tonight. And we're just gonna flip through the pages tonight, and I want you guys to tell me what you see. So Edith, on page 278, what do we see on that page? Can you tell me, or tell the group?
Well, it says life skills reference, but
So life skill reference, okay. And at the bottom, right next to 278, what do you see there? There's a word there,
Resume.
resume. And what is a resume?
Uh,
Um,
life skill reference.
It is a life skills reference.
Uh,
It tells a little bit about your work life, your work experience. It gives a picture, it paints a picture of the work that you have completed to date. And if you're brand new in the work field, it'll be a pretty slim picking. It'll be a pretty a brief page. You know, the longer you've worked in an industry, like for me, for example, you know, I've got multiple pages because I've worked in this industry a long time. I've earned a lot of certifications, and I do a lot of other things other than just work with school buses. For example, my resume would talk a lot about third-party studio examining, working at Lowe's, doing audit work, administrative tasks, teaching people how to drive safely. So you'd have all those different tasks and skill sets that you would talk about. My education for a high school kid, you know, all they're going to have for education is their high school diploma. For somebody that's been in college for many years, they may have a bachelor's degree or an associate's degree or a doctoral degree. I mean, do any of you guys have a college degree?
I do.
You do? What might
I
that
mean, an associate degree,
An associate's degree in what?
medical office management.
Medical office management. Okay. Edith, what about you, my friend?
I'm just finished my GED like 3 years ago. High school diploma.
That's very good. Our GED or equivalent is very
Yeah.
important in this day and age. I'm glad to hear that you stuck with it. Okay.
Yeah.
And Nancy, did you do college? No college for you? Okay. It's not for everybody. So let's just keep on flipping through the pages here. If we were to go to page 280, Enrique, what do you see?
Hold on. 280 is an application for employment.
It is an application for employment. And it looks rather, do you believe an application for employment can be complicated?
No, well, not really.
Not for you, but if somebody didn't fully have a strong grasp of the English language, it might be difficult for them, though. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah, maybe, yes.
If they didn't, especially in a workplace where they do not translate any of the documents into your native tongue, that makes it really difficult. I'm grateful that Jesse, who works with me here in the school district, that he will take the time to translate documents for folks so that they're able to read those documents with ease and have a better understanding so that we are not misleading anybody and helping to provide what I would call a wow customer experience. Angie, what do you see on page 281? What's that picture of? So it is a life skills reference at the top. But when we look at this picture, what picture do we see there? It looks like a body, okay. And what do you see in that body? Anybody?
All the organs.
Organs. Very good. Very specific. Enrique, I'm loving you already.
Thanks.
It's got all these really important organs. The brain and the heart probably being the most important of all the organs that we have. We need to take very good care of them, with the heart probably being the most important thing. Okay, so we move to page, let's just say 283. What do you see there? Something that I love.
Government.
Oh my goodness. Government.
All the
How many branches of government are there?
3.
Okay.
Are they all equal?
What do you mean equal?
Do they all have the same power, same
They
responsibility?
they do have a power, but in different branches.
Ah, very good.
They
So,
both very powerful, but in different branches.
so is there any one of these three, my friends, that we would consider more powerful than the other?
More powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it could maybe, but well, I think the strongest one at the end of the, I mean, at the end of the day, how you say it, is maybe the Supreme Court, because even when the president signed an executive orders, and if they sued him, the Supreme Court at the end will decide if it's valid or not.
Correct.
Yes. So yes, that's my personal opinion. I don't know if I'm wrong or not, but that's what I think.
So I would say that each branch, they have unique powers,
Correct.
and each branch is designed to keep the other one in check or keep the other one in order.
Mm-hmm.
And the Supreme Court is an independent. Each one of them are independent from one another, but yet they are intertwined or interconnected at the same time. They're still interconnected one another. I would agree with you that the judicial branch, at the end of the day, if
Mm-hmm.
Congress or the president take any action that is out of order and violates our very alive Constitution,
Correct.
Supreme Court can come in and say, you know what, Madam President, Miss Edith, you signed an executive order. Not gonna happen. We're gonna override it. Or
Correct.
we could go to Speaker of the House Enrique over here and say, you know what, you're asking for folks to do something, or you're getting ready to create a piece of legislation that's not legal. It does not support our Constitution. As such, it is unconstitutional. Shame on you. We're going to override it.
Correct. Yes.
So, of the three branches, you guys, the Supreme Court is probably the most unique because the Supreme Court, the 9 justices that serve on it, they are elected or they are appointed for life.
Correct.
They are selected
Yes,
by the
exactly.
president, but they are appointed for life. So the Congress, which creates legislation and spends money and levies taxes, you have 2 branches of Congress, the House of Representatives and the Senate. So the president makes a recommendation. The Senate will then confirm. They grill them, as I call it. You go before the Senate hearing, and all these people ask you 10,000 questions, and the whole world's watching you. You know, Edith, can you imagine having to be sustained as a? Oh, it's okay. It's good. I'm good. Just imagine the pressure that you would have. You're good. The pressure you would have knowing that millions of people, not just in the United States, are listening to all of your questions, and they want to know exactly how you respond. But once they're confirmed, they're there for life. And so very, very unique process. And you think about the president, what I always say about the president and the legislative branches, those individuals are elected by the people. And we have a lot of controversy over the whole electoral process. You know, we have a vote by the people. And when we vote for a president, though, it's done through all the states vote, but then you get these electoral votes as well. And our forefathers had some sense about this. I can't imagine, you know, some folks will say, well, I just don't believe the Lord had anything to do with this, but I really do believe the Lord had some divine intervention in that, because they knew and saw into the future that there would come a day that if you allowed every election to be determined by popular vote, then you would have about 5 states that controlled everything that the whole United States did. And so they said every state will get a certain amount of electors, or electors as they call them, and they are appointed based off of populations, and that's why we do a census every 10 years. That's why I hound everybody to do the census, because that's how we allocate funds. That's how we allocate House of Representatives seats. Now the Senate, it's a pretty done deal. 2 people per state, no exceptions. It's always been that way. So either way, I digress, or I move on to the next.
I totally agree with you, and I want to say yes. I love government too. I love politics. So.
So if you ever get a chance to speak with Jesse at length, the 2 of us love talking about politics. But you have to be able to talk about politics and not get offended if somebody
Sure.
has a differing opinion. Because
Of course.
I can say in the Hispanic world, I am, I don't know, Jesse might disagree with me. I am utterly surprised to see how many Hispanic folks will vote Republican, knowing that the current administration has not been favorable to the Hispanic population. But they will vote because he supports Christian values. He has a laser focus on education. He just has a different, he supports those values that are so important to the conservative side, you know, faith and family and education, that, you know what, we're going to say we have to look past the few bad things that he does. Although, you know, I may not always agree with him. He is our president, and we are commanded, for those of us that are faithful and religious people, we are commanded to pray for those individuals who have rule over us. It's easy for us to cast judgment for folks that serve in leadership roles. But unless you've served in that role, it's really difficult. I don't know what it would ever be like to be the president of the United States, the immense pressure, or to be a Supreme Court justice or a legislator. Can you just imagine if we put ourselves in those individual shoes? It would be a trying experience for all of us, I do believe. I don't know. I might be wrong. Enrique may get up there and just wow us all out there and have every answer to every problem and be on the way. And he'd have Edith as his vice president and Angie over here as Secretary of State. And y'all would just fix all the problems of the world. So our last page, let's move on to the last page I want us to talk about tonight, and that is page 284. So what do we see on page 284?
Holidays, federal
Yes,
holidays.
Federal holidays, correct. And these are holidays that have been set up apart or set aside or dedicated as days of importance or significance. As a general rule, they have historical significance or historical value in our culture and history. So we think about New Year's Day, January the 1st. We all know what New Year's Day is all about. We stay up late the night before and usher in the new year. And some of us probably do things that when we wake up, we're like, we shouldn't have done that. Although we should be striving to do wholesome things that night. They say whatever you do on New Year's Eve, after all, we do all year long. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So that's the 3rd Monday in January. This is an important holiday because it's all about Martin Luther King and the great work that he did to usher in civil rights justice or civil rights change, because our culture and our nation at that time, back in the early 60s, we were a very divided nation. There was a lot of segregation going on. There was a lot of ill treatment of African American people, homosexual people. You know, it was a tough time to be a minority in this country, specifically in the South. If you go to your northern states or you go out west, I think about California. If you want your citizenship, you go to California, you're probably going to move through that process in about a year or two. You come here to Tennessee, it's probably going to take you a full 10 years because it's just a different mindset. And Does it mean that the people in Tennessee are bad? Not necessarily.
No.
It's the way they were brought up. It's the way that, and I'm from Ohio. We were taught to be very understanding and loving of other individuals from our youth. So either way, Martin Luther King Jr., a very big deal in our nation's history. We got President's Day. You know, depends on who you are and whether you like the current president. But we do celebrate two specific presidents during this holiday, and that's George Washington. And we all know he was our very first president. He was a very honorable man. From one thing I remember reading about him, when he was on his deathbed, he apologized to the nurse for her having to work so hard to care for him. He asked for her forgiveness. I thought that was a pretty humble fact about him. And then you have Abraham Lincoln. He was the individual that changed the trajectory or changed the direction that our country was going to move. And he paid the ultimate price. His life was taken. Somebody murdered him. So then we have Memorial Day. That's a day where we go through and talk about, or we celebrate, and we're mindful of the men and women who have died in various wars, the Civil War, World War I and II, Korean and Vietnam War, and any other conflict that we've been engaged in our nation's history, with the Civil War being probably the worst war that our nation ever experienced. There's been some speculation that we might end up getting back to that point because there's so much division right now throughout our nation. And you guys might see that as you're out and about yourselves. Independence Day is always fun. I enjoy that holiday. It's the day we get to go out and have hot dogs and potato chips, my favorite things in the world. I'm sure you guys have, if you think about the Independence Day for Colombia or Mexico, I'm sure that they have their own celebrations, and I'm sure there are unique foods and traditions that you guys have as well. Labor Day, just make sure I've got these correct here. I'm looking through these. So Labor Day is the day that we honor working men and women in the U.S. For many Americans, the holiday means the end of summer and the beginning of a school year. For those of you that are a little older, you will remember schools in the United States used to not start until Labor Day. And now we start so much earlier. But it is a fun day, but it's a day that we honor our ability to work. You think about when women started working in the workforce during World War I and II, the ladies came along, and Rosie the Riveter, you know, there are pictures of her. You know, if the man can do it, the woman can do it too. And it ushered in a whole new workforce because all the men were off fighting the wars. Women had to come and do their part to support the men and women that were serving in the armed services. Columbus Day, this day remembers Columbus's first landing in America. This day, depending on your culture, may not be a day that everybody likes. You know, I think about Columbus Day, and I think about Christopher Columbus coming to the United States. He settled the United States, but at what cost? We took a lot of land from Indians, American Indians. And as you know, as we took over the original 13 colonies, we worked our way west with the Louisiana Purchase from the French, because they had already come in and conquered a significant portion of the country. And then you go on over and you got Texas, which belonged to Mexico, and there's some differences in the history of who had what and how it was given. Because if you ask somebody from Mexico, I've been told that we forced the hand of the individual that sold Texas to the United States. I'm sure if you go to Texas, that story will be different. But I always tell folks that you think about the story of the Civil War. If you go up north, the Civil War is completely portrayed different than if you hear about it in the South. You ask a Southerner about the Civil War, we're going to tell you them old Yankees came in here. They took our slaves away. They took all of our ability to make money. They actually wanted us to work for a living. You know, we were so accustomed, the Southern people were so accustomed to making money, being wealthy off the backs of other people. Whereas your northern states were all about, you know what, let's believe in people, let's inspire them to do things and create and use their minds. And so you see all the industrial stuff going on in the northern states. And we came in with the guns, we came in with the trains, we came in with all this stuff. And I mean, we obliterate the South. They did not have a chance. Now you hear me say we. I've said we or us twice, and I use me as an example from Ohio because my grandmother will tell you the northern version that we came in and humbled the South. But then I say the version from the South. We felt like our income was taken away, our ability to make a living. So it really depends on where you're from. And so we'll move on to Veterans Day. Very, very solemn day to here in the United States, just remembering all the people that have both living and dead who served in our United States military. It's a wonderful day. We have a lot of men and women. I think sometimes we treat them pretty poorly in the United States. And I don't know, Edith, you said you were from Mexico. Do they have a veterans type day in Mexico where they celebrate the men and women that have served in the Mexican army?
I don't think so.
Okay. What about you, Enrique? Colombia?
No,
Okay.
no, we don't.
Okay. So maybe that's something that's unique to Americans. We like to recognize those who have given us a lot of the freedoms that we enjoy today.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving Day, one of my favorite days of the year. As you can imagine, I like to eat. And Thanksgiving meals will look different based on your culture. But we all love the Thanksgiving meal. And it's really about how we built relationships with the Pilgrims and the Native Americans during our early settlement days and how we were able to work together. And that's how that first meal came about. And of course, I think everybody's favorite day is Christmas Day. I would assume Christmas is celebrated in just about every country in the world. It has different meaning, though, for some. It would not be celebrated by the Jewish people. We would have Hanukkah, but they certainly would not celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ because to them he was just another man. So it's a really fun holiday. I think sometimes we get caught up, and I think it's interesting. It says for other Americans, Christmas is a secular or a worldly or non-Christ-like holiday. I think that's interesting to just point that out, because in America, I think we've got so caught up with giving and giving and giving that we've really forgot about the true meaning of the holiday. And it's the ability to have friends and family, and to know that when we end our journey here on earth, we have somewhere that we can look forward to going. Can you just imagine a life not having those things available to you? All right, so we're going to go back to the front of the book. It says here, where's the Practice Plus CD-ROM? Did your books have a CD-ROM in the back, guys?
I'm looking for it.
Does it have a CD?
No.
CD? No.
So if it doesn't have a CD, it probably has like an access code or something, would I imagine? Yes.
Yes.
I would encourage you to use that when you're needing extra practice. Listen to the, excuse me, I'm old fashioned. I still have the CD. I'm a relic of the past. I'm like a gargoyle.
I don't see the access code. I'm sorry. Oh, the from. Okay, got it. Yes.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Probably got an access code because my book is old, y'all. It's old like me. When they gave me it's probably been handed down from one teacher to another for 62 years. So it's relatively unchanged. All right, so y'all know where that's at. So let's go to page 3 for a few minutes. And we're not gonna be on here much longer tonight. And then next week we'll get started up with in the neighborhood conversations, and I'll try to get some stuff put together, or at least scan these so you can see what I'm seeing. Like I said, Enrique, Angie know I'm working on getting, or Edith knows I'm working on getting a document camera that will allow you to see everything that I see. Because I am not a PowerPoint person, and I don't really believe in recreating the wheel. I don't want to have to retype this entire book unless Edith or Enrique would like to volunteer to do that. So it says, tell your group your name and repeat the names of the students before you. So we're just going to read this. Each person will start. So I will be Diana. Enrique, you be Luis. Olga will be Edith. Tron will be Angie. Okay? And we'll just read these over, and then Lila will be Edith as well. So Edith, you got two people, okay?
Okay.
So my name is Diana.
This is Diana. My name is Luis.
This is Diana. This is Luis. My name is Olga.
This is Diana. This is Luis. My name is Angelica.
Is Olga. So
Olga.
So read this next sentence for me. Tron.
So, no, this is
Are you Olga? Okay, sorry. So this is Diana.
This is Luis.
Mhm.
My name is Olga.
Is Olga. All right. Enrique, Tron.
Okay. This is Diana. Excuse me. What is your name again, please?
Luis.
Luis, to me, I guess again, yes.
Mhm. Yeah, we're just reading. This is practice for you guys.
Okay, thanks. This is Diana. This is Luis. This is Olga. My name is Tran.
Okay.
And Edith.
This is Diana. This is Luis. This is Olga. This is Tran. My name is Leila.
Layla.
Leila.
You say
Laila.
Tran or Trump?
Well, I think Tron.
Tran, I think.
Depends on whether it's a long A or short A, you know. And I don't know how to. So if I were to, let's see here. So you have A, and so bear with me. Wrong. We want this. So you have a long A, which we just have that. Well, it's supposed so. You have a long A, you would have this symbol over top, and then the short would be the U, but this isn't working. So just imagine a U. There would be a U right over top of the A. So A, ah. So if you got that short, it's ah. With the long, if you have a line over a vowel, you know, in English, then it's the A, E, I, O, U. They pretty much sound exactly the way they look versus ah, E, E, U, and U and E. Did I get them all? A, E, I, O. E and I can be confusing. So either way, we'll have some discussion over that later when I can actually draw some stuff and write with you. So let's go back down here to our textbook, page 3. It says read the sentences, and then it says check all the statements that are true for you. This should be interesting. So we're going to read them. We'll just read one at a time, and we'll start with Edith, and then Angie, and then Enrique. And we'll just keep going until we've read all of them.
Okay.
And then I'm going to be nosy and ask which one of these apply to you.
I have a small family.
I have a large family. I mean, you want me to read that or?
So that's fine. Angie?
My family lives in this country.
Most of my family lives in this country. Very good. Edith?
Most of my family lives in my country.
Very good. Enrique?
I have a job.
I
Oh,
have
yeah.
I live with
I
my
live-
family.
with my family.
Okay. Read that next one, Angie.
I live with friends.
With friends. Okay. All right. Edith.
I'm Mary.
Okay. Enrique.
I don't have a children.
I don't have children. Okay.
I don't have
Angie?
children. Yes, I don't have children.
So what about I'm single?
I'm single.
I'm single. Edith.
I have children.
I have children. And Enrique's already said that I have a job. And the very last one, who wants to read that?
Oh, I can read it. I mean, I don't have a job.
I don't have a job. So it says on here to go through and how many of us have a small family?
Mm.
Well, it
No.
depends because I call family all my uncles and aunts and everybody, my parents and my grandmother. So that's a big family.
So,
Yeah, me too.
so when I think of, so we think about small family, that would be your immediate family.
Correct.
You said you were single. I'm single. So neither one of us have children, or at least none that we know of, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So two in the room though, Edith and Angie, I believe I heard them say that they are married. It says, I'm married or I am married.
Mhm.
I believe
Yes.
both could say, well, I don't know, the jury may be out on this, whether they're happily married, but they are married. Two of us have children, so I have children. That would be Angie and Edith.
Mhm.
But then the other two in the room tonight say, I don't have children. Do all of us have a job?
Yes.
And we know that Enrique has a job, and Angie, they
Yes.
work her like a mule up here at Electrolux. They're cruel to her until she gets right nasty with them and tells them how it is. So let's look at this other statement. Most of my family lives in this country. Is that true?
No.
No, not in my case.
No.
So we would say that our immediate family,
Mm-hmm.
would that be fair? So our, so you notice I said our,
Yes.
not our. Because here in the South, you will hear people say our family. But if you see A-R-E, that's incorrect, our family. So most of my family lives in this country, or most of my family lives in my country. So in this country or in my country. So if we see those two statements, in this country represents or signifies or indicates here, right here in the United States of America, but most of my family lives in my country. My country would be the country of origin. Where are you from? Where do you originate from? Where do you hail from? So for Edith, that's Mexico. I would assume
Yes.
lots of familia there. And the same
Yes.
thing for Enrique in Colombia. And where is your family from?
El Salvador.
El Salvador. That's where Stevie's from, El Salvador.
But this is my country too.
This is your country.
Yes, this is my adopt country.
You're
I love this yes, I love this country as same as Colombia. I'm a dual citizen. So when I travel, I show my American passport.
very good.
Yeah.
Probably it's probably more inviting for you too when you go to some countries. Although Americans may not be the most popular right now, I think there are a few countries we're not even allowed to travel in right now.
Oh well, now it's all over the war. Yeah, it's very bad.
Think about Americans tend to be pretty opinionated We don't have, well, how do I want to say that? We're just opinionated. That's all there is to it. And we don't always think about if we're hurting somebody's feelings when we say something. We just say it. And go for it. Go on with it. So it says I live with my family or I live with friends. So Edith, you live with your family, correct?
Yes. Yes.
I live with my family.
Angie lives with her family. But what about you, Enrique?
With my family too.
So you still live at home? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I live with two friends. I got a kid that graduated a year ago or last school year. He lives with me. Sort of adopted him as a son, trying to do things to help him get ahead in this world. Although the immigration process is very frustrating for me, and so I can understand why immigrants decide just to give up, because I know there's been several things we've tried to do, and it just seems like you're always hitting roadblocks.
You say that you have 2 children?
I have no children. I wish that I did. I got several children that I've sort of taken under my wings that I love like children.
Oh.
You know, I'm 38. How old are you?
Oh, you're still young.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
Okay. Edith? Although that's a dangerous question to ask a lady their age. Edith?
She quit. She cannot.
Yeah, but she may have had
No,
that.
because the question is not good for her.
She may say, I'm not asking that question, not now, not never. Yeah, her internet connection, so she'll be trying to get back in a minute. So hopefully I will see that come up.
She got a bad connection in the right time.
Yeah, let's see here.
Maybe the question, she don't like it.
I'll have to keep it up here for a second so I can see when she tries to get back on. So either way, I live with two friends and spend most of my time serving other people. I've always said that we're happiest in life when we, there's Edith. So glad you're back. Unmute yourself though. I hear that giggling. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So we had just asked the question, how old are you? And then it went silent. And so everybody pretty much shamed me. They said, you know, you don't ask a lady how old she is. I said, she can't be over 20.
No. Well, I'm 33,
33.
and I'm proud. Yes.
Okay. Well,
That she's Jesus Christ age.
yes. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. And I'm not even going to ask Angie because she's giving
Angie,
me.
you go home.
She said she'll get up and walk out if I even think about it.
I 40 years.
So she's only 4 decades. That's a young chick still. Young chick. So 4 decades or 40 years old. Not too bad. I'm 2 years away from you. All right, let's go to so we'll finish up here in just a second. Let's go to section B. It says complete the statements about things you like. Okay. So Enrique, my favorite food is, what is it?
My favorite food is paella.
Okay, I don't even know what that is.
Paella is a Spanish dish that is made with a special rice. It's from Spain and so delicious. It has a lot of condiments and it's sometimes include rabbit or I make it with chicken, vegetable and seafood.
Mm.
It's really good. It's so good.
So
It has a special sauce with the rice, and sometimes it takes up to 4 hours to make it, but it's so good.
So next week's class, we expect you to be in Springfield and cook for all of us.
Yes.
I would, but right now I can't.
I hear you. I hear you. Okay. What about you, Edith? What is your favorite food?
Well, like all Mexicans, I love tacos.
Tacos. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
I love them.
That's your favorite?
Yes,
Okay. Do you put lots of hot, spicy things on there?
yes.
Lord, I can't do all that spicy food. But
Mm.
what about you, Angie? What is your absolute favorite thing in the world to eat?
I love everything. I love it.
So Angie says she just loves to eat.
Yeah.
If
Well,
she
me
can put it in
too.
her mouth and it's edible, she's eating it.
But which one
She's
is your
not like me.
favorite one?
What is your
If
favorite though?
um, uh, okay, my favorite food is all the time I eating beans for every day. Green bean. I make a santaya with make with the cheese inside and cover it with the egg. We say um, what's it? Rellenos,
Ray what?
rellenos,
Relleno?
rellenos. We putting cheese inside.
Cheese?
It covered with the bean, green bean, and
Green bean?
green bean, yeah. In the middle, putting cheese.
So you stuff a green bean?
Yes.
Wow, that
And
must be a big green bean.
green bean, yes. And covered with the egg and
Well, you never bought any of that last year.
good.
She bought this rice last year that has like sugar in it. It was so tasty. It's like a real sweet rice. What did you call that?
Oh, this is I don't know. In my country, it's empanadas.
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 Empanadas. Sorry.
Yes.
Mm.
So for Mexican people, putting meat inside is
Okay.
the empanada. For my country, it's sweet. Mm, it's not food. For Mexican people, it's food. Is make putting meat and putting flour outside. We putting outside putting a banana.
Banana.
In the middle,
Oh,
putting a pudding for rice and cinnamon and milk.
That's what rice, cinnamon, and milk
Uh-huh.
with the rice. That was what it was. It was so good.
I love them.
Yes.
Teacher, what is your
Yes.
favorite meal?
I think I could eat spaghetti. Now, not just no cheesy spaghetti. It's got to be the real thing with black olives, fresh mushrooms, cilantro, oregano, lots of meat. You want to talk about, I can make some spaghetti and I could eat it for breakfast, lunch, and supper. Every day. I love it. So let's ask the question then, what is our favorite music? So Edith, I'll let you be the one to tell us, what type of music do you like?
All kind. I
Ah,
just love, yes, I just love music. I can hear anything.
okay. What about you? Lord, I just said Enrique.
uh, pop and Spanish music, I would say.
So
Yeah.
Spanish music, more like the salsa, the rock.
I like salsa. Yes, I do, and I like the from Spain too.
Do you like dancing? Do y'all all like to dance?
I don't dance much. I don't dance salsa. I can dance pop. I moved long time ago to United States, and I didn't dance much in my country. But
Okay, okay.
yeah, that's why.
You, Angie,
I listen Christian music.
Christian.
Yeah,
Okay.
in English and Spanish. Both.
English and Spanish.
In my home, all the time music. Sometimes when my husband don't go sleeping when don't have music. All the time I have music in home.
You have music playing all the time, and your
Yeah.
husband would rather you not do that.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear what Angie said? Her husband is the head of the house, but she's the neck, and she turns his head whatever direction she wants to go. So I'm like Angie. I like gospel music, Southern gospel music. I like that old time Christian where you get up and hallelujah, praise Jesus, rolling around in the pews. You know what I'm talking about? I love it. But I like classical music too. Some pop music I can tolerate. I like the salsa and the rumba and all that because it's just fast. It's energizing. I'm not a big fan of rap. And I don't care much for rock and roll because it gives me a headache. You hear me refer to it as death jams. I cannot stand it. So here's another interesting question to get to know you guys. My favorite free time activity would be, and Edith, what would that be? What is your favorite thing to do when you have nothing else to do?
Well, I love to swim with my daughter. Swim.
Swim? Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's lots of fun. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Angie?
Only for me, I don't have free time. I
I don't understand these moms in the room. They tell me they don't have free time. Y'all got to make time.
Yes.
when I have time, I going to the beach with my son, with my daughter, because my son and my daughter love it going to the beach.
To the
Swimming.
beach. Okay. Swimming in the ocean.
Yes.
I'm afraid to get in the ocean. I stepped on a blowfish one time, so I'm scared to get in.
Oh.
What about you, Enrique? What is your favorite free time activity?
Travel.
Huh?
Travel.
Bravo?
No, travel.
Oh, traveling. Okay.
Traveling? You say traveling, I say travel. Okay, traveling.
To
Thanks.
travel the world or travel the United States. I'll remember that. If I ever want to go somewhere, I'll call you because I'm always
That would be
looking for someone
great.
to ride with me because making long trips is pretty boring. I went to Universal one time and it was so boring by myself. So now
Oh, really?
I just find somebody, as long as you don't mind sharing a room, and go and see the world. I went to
Sure, it sounds good.
Virginia a year ago and got to see the Hershey factory. You know, that was so awesome. Yeah, I went
No.
to Gettysburg. I went to Washington, D.C., and I walked until I thought my feet were going to absolutely fall off of my body. I like to go and see things, but I don't like to do it by myself. Traveling is not fun by yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
But I also like to sing old church hymns. I go to the Mennonite hymn singing, so that's something I enjoy doing as well when I have some free time. And what is our favorite holiday? Who can tell me what is your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, Christmas, and Angie, what is yours?
Thanksgiving, because in Thanksgiving I stay together with my family.
So we all
What?
have it Thanksgiving. She likes Thanksgiving
Oh.
because the whole family's together. And when you have really large families, that's true. Sometimes you don't come together at every holiday, so you'll pick. Like our family is like Angie's family. We do everything at Thanksgiving because my siblings, you know, my brother and two sisters, they all have things they like to do. So they have their own families. So at Christmas time, they spend time with their smaller groups. And then of course, I think our other big holiday would be the what do you call it? Easter. So we always come together. So Thanksgiving and Easter is when my family comes together, and I really enjoy it because I got nieces and nephews, and because I don't have children, they're sort of like my own children, other than the few students that I feel like I've adopted. You know, sometimes I give myself a hard time. I don't think the kids like me, but then I hear them say really nice things about me, and so I know that I must be making at least some headway in their life. All right, so let's see what's left on our agenda here. It says complete the conversations. So we're not going to do that tonight because that's role playing. So we're going to say, because it's almost 8:30.
You don't mind to ask you a question? I just want to be
That's
clear.
what this question is. This class is all about you guys.
I
We're
want to be
very
clear
small.
when you say that my favorite free time activity is, so is I would say is traveling, right? Traveling because there's
Yes.
ing, right? Okay.
So if you're doing it, my favorite free time activity is traveling. Yeah.
Traveling. Okay. Yes, because it has yeah, be yes. Okay.
Could say
Present.
it conversely, I could say I like to travel
Travel.
in
Yeah.
my free time.
All right.
When I am not busy, I like to travel. Okay,
Gotcha.
you know what? This is what I like to do. I like words. I think that the words just have a unique way of blessing people's lives. Um, so this class is all about you guys. I will say that it's going to be a pretty small group. There may be a few nights where others just straggle in, but this is really about you guys. So we can make this as intimate. If you need to have more, if you want to do an extra class, I can always create another link. And we can do that extra time if you would like to do that. This book, you will not get through this book in 1 year unless you had multiple sessions. So as a general rule, I'm pretty free most evenings. The first Monday nights of each month, I am not. We have board meetings and I have to go stand in front of the board. Not always my favorite task in the world because I feel like one of those justices we talked about earlier. I get questioned about various issues. But yes, this class is about you. I know with Angie, when we had our other group, there were some nights we had, 6, 7, or 8 people in there, and it makes it a little more difficult because every one of you guys, or Enrique here, he's probably significantly more advanced. He has a more complex understanding or a more complete understanding of the English language, whereas Angie over here certainly would not have all of that. But that doesn't mean that Angie doesn't try. She does a great job, and I'm glad to have her here in person because I know if I had to try to learn English online, it would be a challenge for me. It will be easier once we get my document camera because I will be able then to utilize that and we can do some writing. Although I don't mind typing on this whiteboard. So if whiteboard typing is good for you guys, I'm happy to do that too. So all of you guys have my cell phone number, correct?
Yes.
I don't. Oh yes, maybe in the yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Yeah, correct.
And so if you need my email address, this is the best way to get me. Okay. I'm at the office just about all the time. If you need to speak with me during the day, you can call this number and just ask for Josh. Okay. But text messaging me on my cell phone is probably the best. Because that you'll probably get a response. I have about 215 employees in my department. You will get a response from me quicker via text than you will any other method. I'm like Enrique. I don't know, Enrique, you might like to talk to people a lot more. But remarkably, I guess because I work with the public all day, every day of the week, I actually enjoy just text messaging and I enjoy that quiet time. When I get home, it's always nice to just sit down. I've got 4 cats that come in and worry the stew out of me. So either way, I don't have children. So my cats are my children. So that's that. So we look forward to meeting again next week. Do you have any questions before we conclude the class or adjourn the class or dismiss the class?
I don't.
No, I don't either.
Are y'all excited?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm excited because this will be my second year to do this. So you learn a little bit from the first time around. It was rough last year. Angie might say otherwise, but it's hard because we have people come and go. And so when I have somebody that just shows up for class, it puts us behind because we're already on task and on target to complete the book. But that's that. So I appreciate each one of you. I wish the Lord's richest blessings on all three of you tonight. If you have a question, feel free to reach out to me. With that being said, I will see you guys next week, Lord willing, okay?
Thank you,
Okay.
George.
Be well,
Thank you.
do good work, and keep in touch.
Sure. Thank you, George, and have a good night.
All right, you too.
Bye,
Thank
all.
you, teacher. Bye.
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 All right, let's see how we do this. End the